Hey everybody, happy Monday. Well, here's your little Monday motivation for all of you people out there who are boss babes and boss guys, and you're in a network marketing company. I wanted to share this with you because education really is key, and I have been in network marketing now for 5 years. This month is my 5-year anniversary. And as many of you know, after year 2, I was matching my full-time income as a college professor, and I had a choice of whether or not I wanted to go back to work or if I wanted to, go forward and just go all in with my network marketing business. But the big thing that always got to me was, why would people quit before they ever got going, right? And I would spend so much time with them. I would go to their houses. I would, train them and all of this. So it was so frustrating to me because I couldn't understand that. I would get people in, they would have success in the first couple of months and they'd make some money. And then right around year 3 or 4, right around month like 3, 4, they're done. They're out of it, or they just have stopped working for whatever reason. And I can tell you what I've learned in the past couple months being part of this business school that I am part of, as part of my team, is amazing. And if I had known this 5 years ago, I would have shown this to my team so that they would understand what this business really is, okay? So, of course, I have my board here because I am a teacher. So I want to show you this real quick. Now, this represents months that you are in the business, and this represents money that you can potentially make. So depending on what industry you're in or what company you're in or whatever, and what your startup is, all that stuff. People tend to get bigger checks in the beginning because why? They're talking to their friends and their family, their warm market, and they're like, oh wow, this is great. I made a couple $100 this week, and everybody wants to buy this. And then they realize as each week goes by, right, less and less checks from their immediate warm market. This is what they don't see. All of those people, if they like the product, right? And if you are introducing the business model to people and not just getting customers, you have to do both. All of those people are going to stay on auto ship. And that is where you get your passive income, and that is where you start to make your time back and your money back. So people get so discouraged, they're like, nobody's buying anymore. I'm like, that is not what this industry is about. This industry is about creating passive income. So, and I always use the popcorn effect as a model to compare this to. So in year, or month 1, 2, and 3 of your business, if you compare it to popcorn in the microwave, let's say minute 1, 2, and 3, you put in the same amount of effort or the same heat on the popcorn for the first 2 minutes, and what happens? Nothing. But what happens in the 3rd minute? You've kept the same heat and pressure, and all of a sudden the popcorn starts to pop. And that's why I always say there's a 90-day delay in this business, because you're not going to reap the benefits if you quit after month like 1, 2, or even 3. If nothing is real in the first year in network marketing, nothing is real. A rank is not real. Nothing is real because you're building a business, right? So people can come in on hype and you might get all the big checks in the beginning, right? And hit a certain rank and everybody's like, oh my gosh, how do they do it? And then all of a sudden you see that they're out of the business maybe 6 months to a year later, and you're like, why? Because they're not getting this concept right here. This is retention. Right here. So this is when auto ship is kicking in, when both your partners in your business, like the people that you sign on to work the business with you, start to duplicate and build their businesses, as well as get customers on board, and your customers are staying on board. So you can actually, you might not be enrolling as many people in 3, 4, 5 months, and this is just if you're being consistent now. Every single day you're working your business, you're introducing it to people, you are talking to people online, and you're posting content that's valuable so that people see you as a go-to in their network. But the thing is, this business takes time, and people get like 1 or 2 no's, and they're like, oh, nobody wants to do this with me. I'm horrible. This just isn't for me. This is all about growth. This business is a personal development program with a paycheck. So the more that you grow, the more that your paycheck is going to grow. So it's not easy. It's not easy. But what is easy is you taking the responsibility to get the knowledge that you need to know that it's all part of the process and to keep going anyway. All right, so maybe you're not getting big checks anymore. And that's when people start to say, well, no one's buying anymore, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to work it. And I made money in it, yes, but I don't want to have to depend on, and this is what I've heard, I don't want to have to depend on people saying yes. Well, you're not seeing the long-term picture here. People don't have to say yes right here, okay? Because what's happening, you are personally enrolling less people yourself. So your initial commission check that you're getting on enrollments may not be as high. But in network marketing, it's the volume. Don't get caught up on rank. That means nothing. Rank means nothing unless you are going to get a huge bonus for hitting a certain rank. And we're talking thousands upon thousands, all right? Don't worry about rank. Worry about creating duplication and retention in your business. Now, what causes retention? Education. When people understand this, and how right here, when auto ship takes place, and also when leaders are creating leaders and they're teaching to people how to teach to people, then you get your time back. And then this grows substantially higher than any individual purchase that someone makes from you could ever be. The volume over time, you build a cash flowing asset because people are coming in and they're getting on a product that is disrupting the marketplace, possibly. This is why it's important to understand if you're an MLM right now and you're thinking about switching companies, you can't just get in on hype and emotionalism. You need to research what company right now is the best vehicle for you to be successful. Okay? So what that means is, do they have leadership that has done this before? In my personal company, we do. The CEO has built 2 other billion-dollar companies prior to this one, and only 11 have ever done that, and he's responsible for 2 of them. We're already in 12 countries, so only 20 months old, this company that I'm a part of, the nutraceuticals company. And then, do you have a disruptive product that someone has to refill in order to get more of it every single month? Is it a product that is something they need? Well, nutraceuticals, vitamins, minerals, supplements, all of that we need because we're not getting it in our foods, right? So it has to be a highly consumable product that when people get to the bottom of the bottle, they need to refill it. So you want to make sure that your company has something that's actually necessary, because that also is going to bring in additional people over and over and cause retention. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3 is you need to have a business school associated or an educational development program associated with your team. I can't tell you, I was in with a previous company for 4 years and I was under the top earner in that company and I did great in that company. However, there gets to a point where you get tired of rebuilding the same business over and over and over again because you lack the retention and the duplication, because people don't understand this concept. They don't understand this. They think that this is a get rich quick, and it is not. It's a business, right? But they don't understand the why. You can teach them, and train them systems and train them, how to do things. You can equip them and give them all the tools, which I did. and they would be successful. But then what's going to happen in month 3, 4, 5 when they know that they have to actually, go beyond their warm market, and now they have to start to teach this stuff too. So not only do they have to recruit, but they also have to teach their team members to do the same thing, because that's when you have all this work in the beginning and get your team together, but that's when you're teaching your team and you're giving them a reason to stay. What's a reason to stay? They need to know what the vision is of why you're telling them to do this. You can give them the system, you can give them the training, and you could tell them these are the steps that you need to take every single day, but until they learn the meaning behind it and why they're doing it, they're not going to stay, right? I'm not beating myself up here on this live. However, I can say that with education and communicating your industry this way, you're going to attract a different kind of person. Because that was my issue. I had no problem getting people on board, training them, and getting them to be successful right off the bat. No problem with that whatsoever. My problem was that they didn't have staying power, right? There wasn't a reason for them to stay because they didn't see beyond the network marketing business. They didn't see how this was going to set them up financially to build additional cash flowing assets. So the revenue that they're bringing in from their network marketing company now, and you can bring in hundreds of thousands of dollars in a week or a year, right? And it's unlimited. So first of all, they don't understand the business model. Second of all, they don't understand what the end goal is. And the end goal is so that you can use the revenue that you have coming in to pay off debt, to possibly retire, yourself or a spouse from your job, whatever you want to do with that. But then what happens with all the extra cash flow? Well, then you should be investing it in other cash flowing assets. And this is where the business school that we have is so critical, because we are taught 3 to 4 nights a week by a multiple 7-figure earner, not just how to run our network marketing business, but how to be financially literate and how to see this business short-term and long-term, right? So once I make a certain amount of money and I pay off debt and I do all of this, now maybe I can invest in properties. Now maybe I can invest in other things that are better cash flowing assets. So now I have multiple streams of income. How many times are you hearing your upline say these things to you? How often is your company teaching you how to max out the compensation plan so that you can get to where you want to be and whatever your goal is? Financial education is the key. And if you are not partnered with a team or like a company, and I know for a fact, my team in my company is the only one in all of network marketing that has this business school that's taught by my mentor, who's the #1 in network marketing, basically in the world. And not only does he have a background in that, he also was one of the top 30 earners in the world for real estate. So he understands the market. He understands not just, the national, but the international market. He understands how things work. He understands money, right? And that's what you need to have. You need to have an understanding of how money works. You need to have an understanding of how to strategize for the short term and the long term. If you're not getting that, then you're not in the right place. And that is my tip for the day. That's your Monday motivation. So I hope you guys have an awesome week. Comment below, share this, message me if you have any questions. I would love to share with you what I'm doing right now, because I think that it's so helpful for everyone. All right, so have an amazing day. Talk to you soon.